I actually spoke to Wendi and I asked her if we can arrange for the boys, you included, to come to Toronto, let them see where their father grew up, let them see where he's buried. And she said that'll never happen.
Who benefited from this awful thing? And you have to say, Wendi was the beneficiary. She got exactly what she wanted.
There was no reason for her to send that to Dan Markel unless it were to ensure that he was in fact going to be in town.
Donna Adelson. She is a normal person.
But there is enough circumstantial evidence there to infer that Wendi took affirmative steps to help further the conspiracy.
Prosecutors have previously named Wendi as an unindicted co-conspirator in court documents.
Only if and when everybody involved is brought to justice.
If you dress your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, Donna wrote, it would show Jibbers that he's not in control.
This was something new that we never saw before. It's an email from Donna Sue to Harvey.
Listen, this is all my fault.
FBI and police arrested Charlie at his house in Fort Lauderdale. The charges, first-degree murder.
What were you doing at Sophie Dental? What was your job description?
Basically, we have, we service the people and take pictures, dance a little bit, I guess, for the customers, and then just make them feel special.
She solved the puzzle.
Mischief maker.
Mischief maker.
Yeah, that's it, Donna.
And oh, what fatal mischief Donna Adelson would make.
The boss, Donna Sue Adelson, was featured on NBC's Dateline. Let's see what they got right, let's see what they got wrong, and let's see if they learned any lessons. Let's watch.
Here she is 34 years later, writhing in a police van under arrest.
And she's now become the wheel of misfortune, if you will.
So exactly who is this 75-year-old grandmother? Depends who you ask.
I'm going to talk to you now about my client, Donna Adelson. She is a normal person. Just like all of us.
She's a terrific human being, believe it or not. She's kind. She's someone I like. She's someone I care about. I would go so far to say that. I've been with her.
You do seem to have an affinity for Donna.
As far as my affinity for Donna goes...
These two Jewish mama's boys were talking about Donna Sue Adelson and their love for her. Here you have her former lawyer, Little Rashy, Dan Rashbaum, speaking about how much he loves the boss.
It's true. It could be that she has some similarities to my own mother. I definitely have an affinity for Donna that I don't usually have in clients. I care for her very much.
We're both Jewish boys.
She's Jewish.
I'm Jewish.
I'm assuming by your all's names that you're not Jewish or anything? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I'm Jewish. You're a miserable Jew and you're going to get what you deserve. Do you remember saying that?
Yep. I know he was a devout Jew.
Yes, I'm Jewish. The thing I could tell you is I am very, and I don't, so many of my colleagues here actually tease me.
Like most Jewish boys, they have major mommy issues, and here we're seeing an exact example of it.
About this, I don't usually become as emotionally involved as I am with Donna Adelson. And the reason being is because I am truly fond of her.
There is something purely evil inside that woman. If you're going to try somebody, you want to make sure your evidence is as good as it possibly can be.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
If you're going to try somebody, you want to make sure your evidence is as good as it possibly can be.
And it seems like Dateline excluded all the females and non-white males from any part of this episode with regard to analyzing it over the past 11 years.
So the thought all along was go after the low-hanging fruit first, hope that more of the low-hanging fruit individuals flip and turn state's evidence.
Did you have anything to do with the murder of Dan Markel?
No, ma'am.
Her lawyer walked her through some of the state's most damning allegations, including the charge that the Adelsons had given her thousands of dollars. Katie said no, she supported herself.
When is the first time that you met Charlie Adelson?
I was working at a dental office in South Beach.
At that time in 2013, what were you doing at Sophie Dental? What was your job description?
Basically, we have, we service the people and take pictures, dance a little bit, I guess, for the customers, and then just make them feel special.
Okay. Now, part of your job is how you dress, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's expected you to dress provocatively.
Yes, ma'am.
With probably as little clothes as is allowed.
Yes, ma'am.
Without you being arrested or anything, right?
Yes. I was working in front desk, receptionist.
It didn't require you to have any specialized knowledge in dentistry?
No, ma'am.
What was a good night for you?
I can walk out of there with $1,000 to $1,500.
Now,
No blood money from the Adelson, she said.
This is the first trial, and the government alleged that she was receiving cash payments from the Adelsons and not from her dental job.
Said, not even for that augmentation surgery. Charlie didn't pay for that.
How did you pay for your birth implants?
Well, from my cash tips.
My name is Wendi Adelson.
Wendy was given some immunity to testify. Her statements on the stand couldn't be used against her. She told the jury she had never met the alleged hitman, Sigfredo Garcia, but she had met Katie. The state showed the jury this photo of the two of them on the beach together.
Were you involved in any way in a plot to kill Dan Markel?
No.
Do you have any knowledge of anyone being involved in a plot to kill your husband?
No.
And that's the doe-eyed deer look we saw from old Wendy Jill Adelson in trial number 1.
As to Ms. McBanoa, I will declare this case mistried.
The mistrial experience was actually quite upsetting, shocking, and we had to pull ourselves together.
Prosecutors believed Katie was the central link in a chain of conspiracy to kill Markel, connecting the hitmen to Charlie Adelson and his family. The audio of their conversation is still low, but easier to understand. Charlie tells Katie, suggesting, according to prosecutors, that if he really feared arrest, he'd be on a plane.
This was an audio enhancement of the Dolce Vita tape. I never fully appreciated the admission Charlie Boy gave right here, but it was highlighted in the Dateline special.
Is that the best evidence you have tying Katie to this family?
It's the best evidence we have tying the Adelsons into this crime.
Taken nearly 8 years to get here, but in April 2022, FBI and police arrested Charlie at his house in Fort Lauderdale. The charges: first-degree murder, conspiracy, and solicitation of murder.
When you actually walk in a courtroom and you recognize the offender, who he's from, and the family, that was a really different experience.
That is Ruth Markel, biological mother of Dan Markel. Her and her husband eventually divorced as well.
2 crimes occurred. The first one, the state knows about. The other one, they don't know about. But before we get there, I like cliffhangers.
Little Rashi did represent Charlie Boy in trial number 3, and we learned that Little Rashi loves jigsaw puzzles, but apparently he also loves cliffhangers. Let's keep watching.
So do we. And you won't believe the story you're about to hear from Charlie Adelson himself.
Neither did the jury.
Listen, this is all my fault. I spoke in too much detail about your family's personal problems, about your sister, Dan Markel, and the $1 million offer. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, my friend killed Dan.
Charlie Boy's describing the made-up extortion plot, explaining what Katie told him on that fateful night.
And he wants to be paid $250,000.
What happened next?
I stood up and I started cursing it. I'm like, what the f***? Are you kidding me? And she's like, no. I'm like, who did this? Who's your friend that did this? And she's like, I don't want to say. I can't say. And I'm like, Katie, I'm not going to be part of this. Like, I'm not going to be part of paying for a murder. This is insane.
Despite making millions of dollars in advertising revenue, describing a brutal murder, for some reason, network television in the United States bleeps out curse words.
And she's like, if you don't pay in 48 hours, they will kill you. I said, Katie, I feel like I'm getting extorted now.
He testified he didn't have that much money, but he did have $138,000 in his safe.
She put it in her purse. She goes, how can you get the rest?
Charlie said he couldn't ask his parents. They'd go right to the police.
She asked me, she said, well, can you pay like $3,000 a month? And I said, yeah, I can do that.
Did you pay for the breast augmentation?
No, I did not pay for her boob job.
Donna and Harvey Adelson loved to go on extravagant vacations. Just 7 months after Dan's murder, they traveled to Australia and posed for these pictures, including these shots. Tourists mugging for the camera as convicts at a Melbourne jail.
They were coming for her next, and she wanted to one-up them and get out before they could.
I didn't see this footage before, but Judy, the Asian YouTube lawyer, pointed out that you can clearly see FBI Sanford's butt in this shot.
As Donna and Harvey made their way toward the plane, Tallahassee FBI agent Pat Sanford, leading a team of officers, some of them undercover, pounced.
They're boarding the plane. They believe they're about to make their great escape, but Pat Sanford is there.
Then she faced a judge.
How does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
As she sat in the Leon County Jail, Donna lamented that she wouldn't be able to see her 2 grandsons, Wendy's kids, on their first day of school, as she wrote in this email obtained exclusively by Dateline. It breaks my heart that I can't see them or even pictures of them on this special day.
This was something new that we never saw before. It's an email from Donna Sue to Harvey explaining how she misses her grandkids and she's not going to be able to see them on their first day of school. There's a lot of interesting information in this email. You can pause it here and read it yourself.
If the state convicts me like they did to their uncle for a crime I had no part in, I want them to remember all the fun things we did together. I do not want them to visit me in prison. If I don't get out, then hopefully I die soon so that no one remembers me in prison garb behind bars. Sitting in the packed gallery were Phil and Ruth Markel. Across the aisle, Harvey Adelson, Donna's husband, sat alone.
I could not understand how he could sit there like stone-faced. He never had a reaction.
Phil Markel, along with many people, were puzzled how Harvey can sit and support Donna Sue despite all the evidence. If you look up narcissistic supply, you will see a picture of old Harvey sitting there, and that's the reason he can do it.
John Singer is an attorney and legal analyst who followed the trial.
Well, what a surprise, another tall white male attorney telling us about this case.
That testimony was for the purposes of somehow connoting that Donna wasn't involved, that Donna was shocked as everybody else was, that she played no part in this. She wasn't the orchestrator.
And after her son Charlie's conviction, the friend said she saw Donna slide further into despair.
She was considering taking her own life.
Daughter Wendi returned to the stand with her limited immunity agreement. Once again, she denied any involvement in the scheme.
I was not involved in any plot to kill Danny.
They introduced another email exchange, with Donna urging Wendi to take bizarre steps to gain the upper hand in the custody fight. She used a nickname for Dan, Jibbers. If you dress your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, Donna wrote, it would show Jibbers that he's not in control. If your children are baptized, it doesn't make them Christian, it's an act.
This was part of the boss's brilliant 5-part plan to antagonize Dan Markel, and old Wendi Jill would not go along with it.
Dan was devoutly Jewish. She wanted to put the kids in Hitler Youth uniforms, a way of infuriating and angering Dan. The kids had allegedly told Dan that Grandma says that you're stupid, Grandma says that she hates you.
My Jewish mother-in-law says a lot worse about me.
And Dan had had enough of that.
Dan was so furious, prosecutors said, that he filed a motion to limit Donna's contact with the boys. A family court judge scheduled a hearing on that motion.
And if only we knew Dan Markel before he filed this motion, he would have known that one lesson that I teach you each and every time we meet.
But Dan didn't live to see it happen. So you put that court date on the timeline, it becomes more important.
It definitely does. It was still looming and had not been adjudicated as of the date that the murder took place.
Once the murder plot kicked into gear, prosecutors said Donna was doing her part to see it through.
The jury files back in. Donna, she looks so nervous, like she may pass out.
We, the jury, find the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
Only short question to Donna, was it worth it? I'd like to have an answer from her.
Unfortunately, Phil, based upon my observations of narcissists in their natural habitat, you are not going to get that answer.
I don't think I'll ever get one.
Have you arrived at a point of finding something that looks like justice, whatever that may mean?
Only if and when everybody involved is brought to justice.
And there is one of the themes in this Dateline episode that Wendi, Jill, and possibly Harvey are going to be arrested.
I think I just feel kind of honored to be able to deliver this win for the Markels.
And look who's there taunting me, that little rascal James, the mental lawyer who tried to take down our channel.
From the moment Dan was killed, his ex-wife's role has been the source of endless speculation. Prosecutors have previously named Wendi as an unindicted co-conspirator in court documents. She has never been charged with anything related to the plot.
The case against Wendi is more difficult than the case against Donna and Charlie, but there is enough circumstantial evidence there to infer that Wendi took affirmative steps to help further the conspiracy.
Days before he was killed, Wendi sent a text to Dan asking about his travel plans. Was she making sure he'd be home for the scheduled hit?
There was no reason for her to send that to Dan Markel unless it were to ensure that he was in fact going to be in town.
Or, like most divorced parents will tell you, they're trying to figure out their kid's schedule.
And hours after the shooting, Wendi drove out of her way along Dan Street and saw the police roadblock there. Was she checking to see if the murder actually happened? To me, the step-back point comes back to the old Latin phrase, cui bono. Right. Who benefited from this awful thing? And you have to say, Wendi was the beneficiary. She got exactly what she wanted. She got the children.
Right, and does common sense tell you that her family, with whom she is so incredibly close, was going to have her ex-husband murdered without her knowledge or imprimatur?
I've never heard of that Latin phrase, sonny bono, but if you just take one look at sweet Wendi Jill here, there's no way she was involved.
Wendi, ever the careful attorney, has said over and over again, in court testimony and in her police interview, that she had no involvement in the plot to kill her ex-husband.
I swear to you on my life, I was involved with Tanya's murder.
Then the judge sentenced Donna to life in prison without parole. For Ruth and Phil Markel, Donna's conviction has closed one chapter in this saga, but it is not the end of the story. Their grandsons are now both teenagers and live with their mother, Wendi.
I don't have that relationship with my grandchildren. And of course, I don't have it with my son either. The last time that I actually saw the children, I actually spoke to Wendi and I asked her, wouldn't it be nice if we can arrange for the boys, you included, to come to Toronto, let them see where their father grew up, let them see where he's buried. And she said, that'll never happen.
Never happen.
That's what she said to me. We want to be a part of their life.
Your heart goes out to both Phil and Ruth. They truly want to see and be a part of their grandkids' lives. The good news is the boys are 15 and 16 years old, and soon enough, they will be able to make their own decisions, and they will seek the path to find out who their father truly was, and perhaps they may even seek to avenge his death.
We want them to know how much love we have for them.
This was the closing scene in the Dateline episode, and I hope everyone that watched learned that one rule that I taught you each and every time we meet. You don't fuck with Donna Sue Adelson.
Coming soon to a prison near you.
If the piece don't fit, you must acquit.
Thank you, Miss Judy.
Why did I trust that idiot Charlie to handle this job?